Hello students, good morning, how are you? Today we are going to study comparative and superlative. It's for grade 1, unit 4, lesson D, and this is week 14. The lesson is presented by teacher Mahmoud Al-Haj Asad. First, we want to know the uses of the comparative and the superlative. First, we want to know about the uses of the comparative. We use the comparative form to compare two people, two animals, or two things. An adjective in the comparative form is usually followed by the word than. Let's take an example. Ali is faster than Ahmed. The adjective fast is in the comparative form and it is faster in the comparative and it is followed by the word than. Second, we want to know about the uses of the superlative. We use the superlative form to compare one person or one animal or one thing with several of the same kind. The article the comes before an adjective in the superlative form. Adjectives in the superlative form are usually followed by the preposition of or in. Let's take an example. Dennis is the oldest student in the class. The adjective old is in the superlative form. It becomes the oldest and is followed by the preposition in. Another example. Frank is the youngest of the three boys in the picture. The adjective young is in the superlative form and it becomes the youngest and it is followed by the preposition of. Now we want to know the structure of the comparative and the superlative. In the comparative, sometimes we add er, like the adjective long. We added er, it becomes longer. With adjectives that ends in e, we add only r. Like the adjective wide, it becomes wider. Sometimes we double the last consonant plus er when the adjective has one vowel followed by one consonant. Like the adjective big, it becomes bigger. Sometimes we delete y when it is preceded by a consonant and add ier, like the adjective easy. We deleted the letter y because it is preceded by the consonant s and we added ier. In the superlative, we add est to the adjective. Like the adjective long, it becomes longest. Sometimes we add st only when the adjective ends in e. Like the adjective wide, it becomes widest. And sometimes we double the last consonant plus est, like the adjective big, it becomes biggest. When the adjective has one vowel followed by one consonant, we double the last consonant. And sometimes we delete y and add iest when the adjective ends in y preceded by a consonant. Like the adjective easy, it ended in y and the y is preceded by the consonant S. It becomes easiest. For adjectives that has 3 or more syllables, we add more plus the adjective. For example, expensive. It becomes more expensive. Or beautiful, more beautiful. Another example, popular. It becomes more popular. Let's take an example. The green jacket is more expensive than the blue jacket. In the superlative form, with adjectives that has 3 or more syllables, we add the most plus the adjective. Like the adjective expensive, it becomes the most expensive. Or beautiful, the most beautiful. Or popular, the most popular. Or interesting, the most interesting. Let's take an example. The green jacket is the most expensive in the clothes shop. With irregular adjectives, we change the adjective into a new one. Like the adjective good, in the comparative form it becomes better, and in the superlative, best. Bad, it becomes worse, and the superlative is worst. Far, it has 2 forms, farther or further, and in the superlative form it becomes farthest or furthest, and the last adjective, much or many, it becomes more in the comparative and most in the superlative. Now we want to make a comparative or a superlative about these pictures. In this picture we can see a boy and a girl. So we want to use the comparative because we are comparing between 2 people. The 2 adjectives are tall and short. The first example is the boy is taller than the girl. And we can say the girl is shorter than the boy. Now, look at these 3 cars. The yellow car is $25,000. The blue car is $17,000, and the red car is $26,000. We want to make a comparative or superlative between these 3 cars. We want to use one of the 2 adjectives, expensive or cheap. As we are comparing 3 cars, so we want to use the superlative. If you want to use the adjective expensive, we start with the most expensive car, which is the red car. We say the red car is the most expensive of all. And we can say the blue car is the cheapest of all. Look at these 2 pictures. We've got milk and Pepsi. We want to use one of these 2 adjectives in the comparative or the superlative. As we are comparing between 2 pictures, we use the comparative. Here we can say milk is better than Pepsi. Now we want to add another picture called red. Now we've got 3 pictures. Here we use the superlative, and we can say milk is the best drink of all. Look at this picture. We've got three: a boy, a girl, and a baby. We want to use one of these two adjectives. Here we can say the girl is the tallest of all, and we can say the baby is the shortest of all. Now let's do this exercise. We want to fill in the blank with the comparative or the superlative. Tokyo is the adjective is expensive city to live in. Here we can use the superlative. We say the most expensive. Another example: Saudi Arabia is the adjective larger than Jordan. Here we are comparing between two countries, Saudi Arabia and Jordan, and we say larger. Another example: the Nile is the long river in Africa. Here we use the superlative because we are comparing the Nile River with all the rivers in Africa. We say the longest. And lions are dangerous than elephants. Here we use the comparative because we are comparing between two animals, lions and elephants. Here we say more dangerous. Another example: yesterday we visited the building in the city. Here we use the superlative and the adjective old becomes oldest. The last example: Mike is the The adjective is good at football in our class. We are comparing Mike with the other students in his class. We say the best because good is an irregular adjective. Now open your books to page 55. We want to do this exercise. The living room is the largest room in our house. The Pacific is the deepest ocean in the world. Mike is younger than me, but he is older than my brother. What's the most popular place in your city? I think math is easier than geography. The last sentence: the shop has got the most modern clothes in the city. This is our lesson for today. I hope you understood the lesson well. Try to do this exercise in your student's book. Thank you for listening and goodbye.